Well, being satisfied now that there's oil getting around the engine and everything sort of built up, I'm going to go and fit the engine before it rains. Now there is a plan to do this. I'm going to fit the engine outside rather than here because I need some machinery to help me because I'm on my own. But first of all I've got to get the bloody frame out. And what's happened is I've got to get some better wheels. These are too small, and what they do is like the wheels down, where are they? They're here. They're too small, and if you get a bit of sawdust or something under one wheel, well, it just locks it up. Bloody useless. Bigger the tyre or the wheel, the more able it is to cope with bits of debris on the floor. So I've got the forklift in, and I'm going to pull it outside. I can just to say get the forklift in, but I can't lift it, so I'm going to drag it outside, attach the lifting frame to it, take it outside, put the engine in the car, and then get the car in here, if you see what I mean, because it's going to be so much easier for me. Because I'm going to reverse the car in, the 110 I mean, and then get it on the hoist so I can do all the prop shafts and all the bolts underneath without crawling on my back. Because no doubt, knowing my luck, it'll start raining. So let's get this out and we'll see you outside. So I've got it hooked up. What I've got to do now is lift it up and take the rear gearbox mountings off. But I don't know if you can see one of the handiest little things you can have. You see those swivel hooks here? I joined two swivel hooks together so they'll twist like this. I'm sorry about the lighting, but we'll get it out. I just wanted to explain what I was up to. Before I fit the engine, I want to show you something that I've been, one of my new sort of inventions. I've made these to go on the wings like this to stop any bangings about, so we don't catch the engine on the wings, if you see what I mean. I made a pair of them, and they're really so what I've done is I've put the plans, the drawings, on my shop. So you can just download them for a couple of bucks, and all it is a piece of carpet. There's the shape, and it's the holes that's really important, where the holes are, and you can make this as big as you want, it doesn't really matter, but it doesn't have to save body work. You know, because especially if you're doing a nice fancy car and you're doing this job, things you're doing. So yeah, we've got a nice little drawing of those, because I was going to make some and I thought, well, the hell, it's going to cost a fortune to ship. You know, my old problem shipping. So we're just going to make sure that we've got all the pipes and everything out the way. Get the cables out, start a cable out the way, that wire out the way. What's this here, the breather, get that out, that wire out, fuel pipes up and out the way, fuel pipes. Ooh, I've got to take the clutch master off because we're putting a new one on. It'll be easier to get off now. Right, so here goes. I've got my gun, I've got my socket, because the engine over there is on a balance beam, so I need this quickly to move it backwards and forwards. I've got to tilt it. It's almost like putting a submarine torpedo in, if you see what I mean. Then, once it's in, I'll balance it back up again, open the doors, put my gearbox support cradle in, lift it up with a ratchet strap, and once the engine mounting studs are in place, then we can get it in the shop. Sounds easy, doesn't it? I know it's going to go wrong. Here goes. I'll leave this running. So that's the engine in. It was easy, wasn't it? Oh, still got all my testicles. Now I'm going to open the doors, put a ratchet strap around the gearbox, lift it up, and then we should be able to get it in the shop. And it is just starting to rain. Back in a tick. So that's the lifting frame. Now again, as we were sort of mentioning about things, this is Mark 1 and I did it square. Mark 2 is going to be at an angle like this because I didn't account for the door cards. Easy thing to do. Anyway, look, you can see the engine's in and gearbox, and this is why we had to do it like a torpedo, so the gear shift would drop down. That was easy. In fact, thinking about it, doing it that method then, I could have put all the high and low linkages on at the same time. Yeah, it went kind of well. The balance beam helps a lot and the swivel helps a lot. But you can see how it's just dropped onto there, onto the studs. Now, because we were fitting, the gearbox is already fitted to the engine, I didn't have to take the studs out. Makes life easy, doesn't it? Didn't scratch any paint. Unusual. Right, let's get this frame in and ratchet it up, then we can get it inside before it pours down. So now the engine and gearbox is in. That didn't take long, did it? I'll just show you those swivels, because maybe you couldn't see them. I just got two. You're supposed to put a hitch and I just put them together so you can move them like this. It's brilliant because you can spin an engine around like that. Because if you have it on a rope, it's a tendency to come back, or a cord, so that makes life difficult. Also, you can see why I want to change the design of my frame, because that's as far as the doors will close. But once I've got it in the shop and lifted up, I can then take that frame out because I can put the gearbox supports in. You see what I mean? So I'm going to push the engine frame back into the shop where it was, clean the floor. I think we've just to say beaten the rain.